Thank you, Drew, and thank you all for coming here this evening, braving the challenges of navigating D.C. this evening. Tonight caps off an incredible few days for all the Medal of Honor recipients and our families. Since Wednesday, we've been treated to incredible receptions, dinners hosted by the VFW, AMVETS, Disabled American Veterans, ROA, and we've been into the swearing in today, lunch yesterday with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and the rest of the Joint Chiefs. We've been done interviews, and here we are tonight. Wow. Wow. On behalf of all of us, thank you for honoring us and working so hard and for so long to make all this possible. We know that it takes great partners to put on an event like this ball, and I'm very honored to help recognize the presenting sponsors for the Veterans Inaugural Ball, American Airlines. American Airlines, let's hear it. American Airlines, just look at the name. It's a company that starts with the word American. It's apparent in everything they do to support the military and the veteran community. Not only do they sponsor events and provide airline miles to great organizations doing fantastic work, but each and every time you board an American Airlines flight, military members come first. And veterans come first in their hiring initiatives, as evidenced by the thousands of veteran employees like the one I'm about to introduce to you. It is my pleasure now to introduce Captain Jim Palomar, Director of Veterans Initiatives for American Airlines, our premier sponsor for this event. Jim is a distinguished military graduate of the Army ROTC program at Marquette University. By the way, Jim, I went to another Jesuit college, College of Holy Cross, and served as an aviation intelligence officer. That sounds like an oxymoron, but he left active duty. He left active duty in 1990 to become a pilot for American Airlines, but was recalled in 1991 for support of Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Jim is a tireless advocate for veterans. He serves on the boards of Snowball Express, the Gary Sinise Foundation, and the Fort Worth Air Power Foundation. He's the chairman of the annual American Airlines Skyball, which raises over $2.5 million annually for veterans' causes. Jim is a friend to all veterans, and I'd like to invite him to join me on the stage to say a few words on behalf of American Airlines, our premier sponsor this evening. Jim?
Well, thank you, Tom, and good evening. It truly is a privilege to be here, and actually a very humbling experience to be here, truly in the presence of heroes. To the American Legion, thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here amongst such great men and women who have worn the cloth of this nation, and those who continue to serve, and their families who also serve in sacrifice. And to the Medal of Honor Society and Foundation, we at American Airlines have had the privilege to work with you for the past several years. You inspire us, you educate us, you make us better every day that we have an opportunity to be with you. So my journey to American Airlines came with the United States Army. Thanks, Tom, for that oxymoron comment. I really appreciated that. When I left active duty in 1990, I really thought my career path would be as a pilot for American. I still fly for American. But in 2001, shortly after the events of 9/11, where we lost 2 aircraft, Flight 77, for example, just a few miles from here at the Pentagon, or Flight 11, our aircraft that was lost in Boston. You know, shortly after those events, it was, what can we do? We've got to do more. And I've got to thank my wife, who's here tonight, Tricia, who's a 5th grade history teacher. because I happened to be flying a restored Huey helicopter at a museum in Fort Worth, and she said, "Can you bring that helicopter to the school? I'm trying to teach these kids about Vietnam, and there's not a whole lot in the textbooks. That helicopter would mean so much for them." So we did that. We landed that aircraft at that school, and American Airlines got behind the initiative, which grew, and it continued to grow. In fact, it evolved to a mission to take that aircraft a few short blocks from here, 14th and Constitution, and in 2004 we actually landed that helicopter. I had the privilege to fly with General Pat Brady here tonight, or Mike Novosel, another Medal of Honor recipient, and we delivered and donated that aircraft to the Smithsonian. The National Museum of American History, where today it's the largest artifact in the Price of Freedom exhibit. And that was 2004. And our chairman at the time, Gerard Arpey, and I had an opportunity after that to kind of think about what the future would hold. And simply it was, we've got to do more. It's not about what we say, what we think, what we feel. You know, patriotism is not defined by that. It's about what you do. And so he gave me the gauntlet and said, create a program. And I've been so blessed and privileged to work with so many great team members, many of them who are here tonight, to simply go out and do the right thing. Programs such as Snowball Express for the families of our fallen service members who have paid the ultimate sacrifice since 9/11. We just conducted our 11th Snowball Express this past December, bringing nearly 1,800 children and spouses of the fallen to Dallas for 4 days, of making sure they understand that their sacrifice is not forgotten. Our support of the Gary Sinise Foundation, building technically adaptive homes for our catastrophically wounded service members, are traveling throughout the world to lift and raise the morale and the spirits with the Lieutenant Dan Band. We're proud to work with Gary and the foundation. We'll be traveling to Camp Lejeune and Fort Bragg in March, and then down to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And we've got some other great opportunities later this year. We just got back from Pearl Harbor in December, bringing Pearl Harbor survivors and World War II veterans there to a place that really defined the life that they would lead. 75 years ago, that defining moment really became the catalyst for a nation to wake up and understand that freedom truly is something that comes at a cost. We cannot thank our veterans enough. It's reflected in our employees, over 100,000 of my colleagues who give so much to give back. Many of our employees at American Airlines are veterans who are currently serving in the Guard and Reserve. And so at the end of the day, just know that American Airlines, for all of our veterans, for all of those who are currently serving, for all the families here, just know that we got your six. We're here to support you. There's nothing as important in what we do as an airline as supporting the men and women who serve, because without your service and sacrifice, there is no democracy, which we celebrate tonight. And without democracy, there is no freedom. And so we are inextricably tied to your service and your sacrifice. So on behalf of the entire company, I'm proud to say thank you. I'm proud to say that we carry the name American, and I'm also proud to say that we wear the colors of our nation on the aircraft that we fly throughout the world. Thank you.